Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Oluwatosin in case you're seeing this channel for the first time. So in my previous video, I uploaded a tutorial on how to cut this 12 pieces blouse. If you've not seen that video, you should check it out so that you will understand what I'm doing right now. Because in this video, we are going to be sewing that 12 pieces blouse. So after adding my interfacing and padding my front panel, you go ahead to pin panel 1 to panel 2 to panel 3, making sure the right side is facing the right side. You do the same thing for the other side. Just pin panel 1 to panel 2, then to panel 3, making sure that the right side is facing the right side. Do the same thing to the lining, and then you do the same thing to the back panel, and then you just take that to your sewing machine and then you stitch all of the panels together. So after joining all the panels together, go ahead to press and then you arrange like this. Fold it, let right side be facing the right side for the main fabric. Then the same thing for the lining, for the front and for the back, and let all the joinings be going towards one direction. Like let all the joinings face one direction, not opposite direction. The next thing is to locate the underbust. It is obvious, like you can obviously spot the underbust when you arrange it like this. So just put whatever the person's underbust is at the underbust point, and then you take your tape rule upward and then you mark to 1 at the up. Let your tape rule pass on top of the cup, not beside the cup. Then you add 1 inch allowance for joining the shoulder to these measurements, and whatever fabric is remaining up, you cut it away. You are not going to be needing that. Just cut it away after marking from the under bust upward plus 1 inch. Whatever is remaining, cut it away. After then, we are going to mark out the shoulder line. Our shoulder is 15 divided by 2 gives me 7.5. I added ½ inch allowance, and then I went ahead to mark out a armhole. Our armhole is actually 16 divided by 2 is supposed to give me 8, but at this point I used 7. The next is to mark our bust. Don't forget that as I folded this, I had the zipper allowance in mind. Like I folded the zipper allowance, like I left the zipper allowance because I'm just folding it equally. Remember that the front panel is joined, but where I joined in the front panel is where it's going to serve as the zipper allowance at the back. So just mark out the bust measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. I'm using 2 inches in this case. Then after then, mark out the waist measurement on the waistline divided by 4, and then you add your 2 inches as well, and then you just connect that straight down to the whole length of the blouse, and go ahead to cut it out. You trim out the excess at the lower part of the blouse as well. The next is to mark out my neckline. For my neck width, I'll be using 7. Then my neck depth, I'm using 3 for the front and then 2 for the back. So for a start, I'm going to be cutting 2 neck length of 2 so that I can just trim out the front and back at the same time. Then you proceed to slanting your shoulder. Then you keep the back aside. We are basically done with cutting the back. Now moving to the front. This blouse has yoke, but firstly proceed to cutting out the 3 inches that the neck length is supposed to be. After then, just keep the lining aside, and then you proceed to marking out the yoke. The yoke at the middle is going to be 7 at that point, and towards the armhole is going to be 5 inches long. So just connect your 7 to 5 and then you cut it out. So this is what I have after cutting out my yoke, and these are the 2 back panels. These are the 2 pieces for the back. So just transfer what you removed to the main fabric you are using as your yoke, but just make sure you had ½ inch allowance to the length. The ½ inch is what you are going to use to join it back to the main top. So when you arrange it after bringing out the yoke, you have something looking like this. So just join the yoke back to the main blouse. The next thing to do is to start turning. I'm going to start turning from the front, and you remember that when I was bringing out the yoke, I didn't bring out the yoke from the lining. It was just for my main fabric. So just face the lining to the main fabric, making sure that the right side is facing the right side, and ensure that all your joining for the pieces, they are on the same line. Like the joining for each piece for the lining is directly facing the joining for each piece for the main fabric, and then you start by turning the down with hemming gum. After then you drag it up and turn the neckline with hemming gum, then you turn the two sides and bring it out from the armhole. You do the same thing to the back panels. Turn the down first with hemming gum, the neckline with hemming gum, then you turn the zip side. You don't have to put hemming gum at that part, and then you proceed to turning the shaping side. So after turning, this is what I have for the front panel. So this is what the front panel is looking like. At this point, I've gone ahead to turn and I pressed it. You know, when you turn with hemming gum and you press, it gums together so that the lining will not be sticking out or something. So I've gone ahead to press at this point, and then the down is already gummed together. The neckline is gummed together as well. I mean, the lining is gummed to the Ankara fabric. So for the back, I turned the back as well. The next thing to do is to fix my zip. So to fix the zip, just put the zip side to each other, making sure the right side is facing the right side, and just proceed to fixing your zip. And after fixing my zip, this is what I have for the back panel. It is already coming out fine. It's already coming out the way I was expecting it to come out. And then I went ahead to join my shoulder line. I joined the front piece to the back piece, and what is next is just to shape. And to shape this blouse, just flip it over to the wrong side. By doing this, the right side is going to be facing the right side, and then you can start shaping from the middle, or you start shaping from the other side. Just make sure that the divided by 4 of whatever the measurement is sitting on the zip line if you are shaping from the other side. But I shaped from the middle. I divided our bust by 4. Then I marked that. I divided our waistline by 4. I marked that, and then I just connected my point downwards depending on how free I want the lower part to be. So after shaping, guys, this is what I have. Check out this blouse. Like, this 12 pieces is already giving 12 pieces. It's giving what it's supposed to give. So the next is just to recut your armhole, and then you proceed to fixing your sleeve. So to do this now, you have to remeasure your shoulder line. Make sure that you have the exact shoulder plus ½ inch allowance for attaching the sleeve. If not, just recut the armhole. Armhole is 16, so I went ahead to recut it. Then after cutting, I measured. What I have here is 8. If I multiply by 2 gives me 16. That means I'm on track. Now, to turn the sleeve, you remember that this sleeve is a pencil and puff sleeve. So just face the lining to the right side of the sleeve, and then you just turn the two sides. You don't have to turn the down at this point because there's still going to be an extension, which is the puff. Then this is the flare I'm using for the puff. I've gone ahead to fold it down in a way that elastic can pass. Then I left like 1 inch unsewn so that the elastic is going to go through that 1 inch. So after shaping the pencil sleeve, now I'm going to attach the puff to it, and then I'll bring it back to show you guys what my blouse is looking like when I'm done doing that. So when I was done, this is what my 12 pieces blouse looks like. I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe if you've not. If you have any question, you can always ask me in the comment section. And please don't forget to give my video a thumbs up. Share my videos among your soulmates as much as you can. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.